everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to focus on the Prima paper clay and the molds. This one that I got recently in a haul video, you probably remember, is the vintage. It's a vintage mold, and I'm trying to see on here if they have, oh, it's Baroque number 3. Alright, and on one of the Ustream videos that I happened to catch, I think it was like the replay on YouTube. I want to say it was Flying Unicorns. Check them out if you've never heard of them. The lady on it actually used alcohol to almost like, I guess, like clean or base her molds before she put the paper clay in. So I did that with the top 2, and I just want to test it out to see if it's going to do anything better or different, you know, with putting the paper clay in. Now on the paper it does say that you should knead the clay before, you know, to get it, I guess, like warmed up before you put it into the mold. And right now I'm pressing, you know, the one piece that I just kind of rolled in between my fingers, and just trying to warm it up to make it so that it's movable, pliable. The first 2, which is this one, I believe, and the one on the bottom that I'm going to put the clay in, they were obviously super easy. They're solid, circle, you know, for the most part, and you just have to press down the clay into it. Those I think you can do pretty easy with no problems. Now if you have any clay that's sticking up, I want to say she used like an old like gift card. You just need something with a sharp edge. I wind up using one of my papers that I laminated because it had that nice sharp edge on the side, so it was easy to, you know, scrape the excess off without, you know, ruining what I had in the mold. Now I'm going to talk about this again later, but this is where I think I might have made my mistake. In putting down the clay for these molds, I wind up using like multiple pieces, and I don't suggest that. If you can cut your slice or your sliver or whatever you're going to use for these particular molds, it needs to be one piece. And I realized probably too late that it should have been the solid instead of doing multiple pieces, because these are very intricate. They are super detailed, but they have thin areas, spots where it's easy to break off. And though I mean, they're gorgeous, and even some of the pieces, which you'll see in the end, I believe I can still use, because on, like, if I decide to do a layout, you can just have pieces peeking through. You don't have to have, you know, the full design. It'll work. It'll feel, you know, mixed media to me, or that shabby grunge chic, whatever you want to call it. But what I noticed is it does need to take overnight, probably longer, because it takes a while for the clay to dry. It's not an instant thing. I didn't take mine out right away. But like I said, the main thing I believe is making sure you have enough clay to cover the whole piece. And I think the super big one on the bottom that we're doing now, see how I was breaking it and trying to move it in, and I think it caused too much. It weakened the clay, really. And so when it dried, it pulled apart, which when I show you the dried part, you'll see some of the cracks. So I would get like maybe a small little rolling pin or something that you could roll out the clay with that would make it long enough, you know, for you to be, or wide enough to be able to cover the whole section that you're trying to, you know, press the clay into. And then you just let it dry. So this is what I have after I've cleaned off my excess. I don't know why I say excess off. You can see, as I held it up close, some of the cracks and stuff in it. You can also tell that it's dry by the way the color changes. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper towel here and just kind of flip it over like you would a cake. And my two pieces on the end popped right out. And then I'm just trying to, I was trying not to break as much as it already was, you know what I mean? Like to put more breaks into it. And you can see, like, yeah, there's a lot of little pieces that broke off. And I think it's because partly of the way I put the clay in, and then I also think it's partly because the two that I used the alcohol in, even though the one at the very top broke into the 3 pieces, it still came out a lot easier than the other two. That one right there that I'm fixing, I put the alcohol in. So I don't think it's bad, or, you know, I think it's a good step, especially for the first time using the mold. You'll probably want to just, you know, wipe out the molds with the alcohol, and then before you do it, just so that you know there's no residue or anything else in the mold itself. So I'm gonna hold up close here. This is probably one of my favorite ones. I'm just trying to get some of the little pieces that were around the edge that I didn't get to clean up. I'm just trying to break these off real quick, because when I hold it up to you, I want you to be able to see, you know, just how pretty it is. It really is very detailed, and the best part is it's hard, and you can color this. You know, it's a paper clay, so you can do your molds and then color it, or you could probably even color the clay and then make the mold. So there's a lot of different things you can do, and you don't even have to use this for just clay. You can, now that I've used it for clay, I would obviously have to clean it up, but you can use it for chocolate if you're a cake maker or a candy maker. So you can make very intricate, you know, pieces for even your desserts and stuff. So the main key is to make sure you use a big enough piece to cover your entire mold piece, and then press the whole thing in. Okay, I can't stress that enough. And I'm gonna keep playing with this, and you know, we'll see what we get, because I think the more I use it, the more you'll get, you know, better at it. So here's a close-up of some of the pieces that I was able to save, and I just want to thank you guys for joining me today. If you have any questions about the molds, or you want me to try something else, or you have suggestions, please just leave your comments down below. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and please share through your social media. Thank you guys, and have a great day.